Imagine you're in ancient Rome around 180 AD. The most powerful man in the world sits alone in his tent, surrounded by the chaos of war. But instead of rage or panic, Marcus Aurelius writes in his journal, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." Today, we're going to uncover the ancient Stoic method that transforms provocations into power. A technique so effective that it shaped emperors, freed slaves, and continues to change lives today. But first, let me tell you a story that will blow your mind. Chapter 1: The Slave Who Became a Teacher of Emperors. Picture this: Rome, 60 AD. A young slave named Epictetus limps through the marble halls of his master's villa. His leg was broken by his owner in a fit of rage. But here's the incredible part. Epictetus wasn't angry. He wasn't plotting revenge. Instead, he was developing a philosophy that would outlast the Roman Empire itself. One day, as his master raised his hand to strike again, Epictetus calmly said, "You're about to break my leg." The master scoffed and continued. When the bone snapped, Epictetus simply observed, "See, I told you it would break." No screaming, no begging, just pure, unshakable inner strength. But how did a crippled slave become the teacher of future emperors? The answer lies in what I call the Stoic shield, and you're about to learn how to forge your own. Chapter 2: The Three Circles. Circles of Control. Let's travel forward in time to modern-day Tokyo. Meet Kenji, a software engineer who's about to learn the hard way why 90% of people fail at handling provocation. During a team meeting, his colleague suddenly attacks. Kenji's code is garbage. He's the reason our project is failing. The room falls silent. Everyone stares. Kenji's face burns with shame and anger. Now, here's where most people make the fatal mistake. They focus on what they can't control. Kenji starts thinking, "How dare he say that? What will others think of me? I need to defend myself." But the Stoics knew better. They discovered that everything in life falls into three circles. Circle 1: things you control completely. Your thoughts, your reactions, your choices. This circle is small but mighty. Circle 2: things you can influence but not control. Other people's opinions, your reputation, future outcomes. You can nudge these but never guarantee them. Circle 3: things completely outside your control. What others say, past events, natural disasters. This circle is vast and indifferent. Here's the life-changing secret. Stoics invest 100% of their energy in Circle 1. Everyone else wastes their power fighting Circles 2 and 3. Chapter 3: The Dichotomy of Control in Action. Back to Kenji's story. Instead of exploding, imagine if he had applied the Stoic method. First, he takes a breath and thinks, what can I actually control right now? Not his colleagues' words. They're already spoken. Not what others think. That's their choice. But he can control his response. So Kenji calmly says, I appreciate the feedback. Let's schedule a code review tomorrow to identify specific improvements. The room's energy shifts. His colleague, expecting a fight, is disarmed. His teammates respect his professionalism. The manager notes his mature response. But here's the deeper magic. Kenji didn't just avoid a conflict, he transformed a potential disaster into an opportunity for growth. This is what Marcus Aurelius meant when he wrote, the impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way. But how do you develop this superhuman level of self-control? The answer lies in the next ancient technique. Chapter 4. The View from Above. Imagine you're floating in space, looking down at Earth. From this cosmic perspective, that angry email from your boss seems pretty small, doesn't it? This is the view from above, a visualization technique that Marcus Aurelius used to maintain perspective during the most challenging moments of his reign. Let's see it in action through Sarah's story. She's a marketing manager who just discovered her assistant has been spreading rumors about her to other departments. Her first instinct? March into Arch and demand justice. But then Sarah remembers the Stoic practice. She closes her eyes and imagines zooming out. First, she sees herself and her assistant as two tiny figures in a vast office building. Then the building becomes a speck in the city. The city shrinks to a dot on the planet. The planet becomes invisible in the cosmos. From this perspective, the drama feels absurd. Not unimportant, but not worth destroying her inner peace either. She realizes that in 10 years, this moment will be completely forgotten. But how she handles it will shape the person she becomes. Marcus Aurelius wrote how much trouble he avoids who doesn't look to see what his neighbor says or does. The view from above doesn't make you passive. It makes you strategic. Chapter 5. The Discipline of Desire. Now we're entering the deepest level of Stoic wisdom. What if I told you that the real problem isn't the provocation itself, but your desire for things to be different? Meet James, a talented artist whose work was just brutally criticized in a public forum. The critic called his paintings pretentious garbage that belongs in a dumpster, not a gallery. James feels crushed. But here's what's really happening beneath the surface. He's not just hurt by the words. He's suffering because reality doesn't match his desire for universal appreciation. The Stoics discovered something revolutionary. Most of our suffering comes not from what happens to us, but from the gap between what we want and what actually occurs. Epictetus taught that we should want what happens to happen as it happens, and you'll have a well-flowing life. This doesn't mean becoming a doormat. It means accepting reality first, then deciding how to respond from a place of clarity rather than emotional reactivity. James practices the discipline of desire. He thinks, I wanted everyone to love my art, but that's not realistic. Some people will hate it, and that's actually a sign I'm creating something meaningful. Bland art doesn't provoke strong reactions. Suddenly, the criticism transforms from a personal attack into valuable market research. James can now ask, what can I learn from this? How can I grow? Chapter 6. The 4-Step Stoic Response System. Ready for the practical formula? Here's the exact 4-step system the Stoics used to handle any provocation. Step 1. Pause and breathe. When provoked, your amygdala hijacks your brain. You have about 6 seconds before the chemical flood peaks. Use them. Take 3 deep breaths and remind yourself, I have a choice in how I respond. Step 2. Apply the dichotomy of control. Ask yourself, what here can I actually control? Focus only on that. Let everything else go. Step 3. Zoom out. Use the view from above. Will this matter in 10 years? What would a wise person do in this situation? How can I turn this obstacle into an opportunity? Step 4. Respond with virtue. Choose courage over comfort, wisdom over winning, justice over revenge, and temperance over excess. I asked, what response would make me proud of who I'm becoming? Let's see this system in action through one final story that will show you just how powerful this can be. Chapter 7. The Ultimate Test. Admiral James Stockdale was shot down over Vietnam and spent 7 years as a prisoner of war. He was tortured, beaten, and kept in solitary confinement. Yet he not only survived, but led other prisoners with remarkable strength. How? Stockdale was a student of Epictetus. When his captors tried to break him, he applied the Stoic principles we've discussed. He couldn't control his circumstances, but he could control his mind. He used the view from above to maintain perspective. He practiced the discipline of desire by accepting his reality while never giving up hope. And he responded with virtue, protecting fellow prisoners even at great personal cost. Stockdale later said, I never lost faith in the end of the story. I never doubted not only that I would get out, but also that I would prevail in the end and turn the experience into the defining event of my life. which, in retrospect, I would not trade. If Stoicism can work in a North Vietnamese prison camp, it can work in your office, your family, and your daily life. Chapter 8: The Modern Stoic Challenge. Here's your challenge. For the next 7 days, become a modern Stoic. Every time someone tries to provoke you, whether it's a rude comment online, a difficult colleague, or even heavy traffic, apply the 4-step system. Pause and breathe. Apply the dichotomy of control. Zoom out with the view from above. Respond with virtue. Keep a journal of your experiences. You'll be amazed at how your relationships improve, your stress decreases, and your confidence grows. You're not just learning to handle provocation. You're forging an unshakable inner strength. Remember, as Marcus Aurelius wrote, confine yourself to the present. The present moment is where your power lives. It's where you choose who you become. The ancient Stoics faced wars, plagues, and the collapse of empires. Yet they found peace and strength by mastering their inner world. That same power is available to you right now in this moment. The question isn't whether you'll face provocation again. You will. The question is, will you react like most people, or will you respond like a Stoic? The choice, as always, is yours.